Well, welcome everyone. We do have 5 people watching. Awesome. All right, so great. I'll make some introductions real quick. My name is Brett Stubbs, and this is my wife, Megan. Megan and I had the idea for BuyItLive, and back in August of 2017, and then have been building it ever since. And we launched in September of 2018. So it took a whole year to build things out. I was working a job as well at the same time, so it wasn't full-time doing this. But
so a little bit of our background. The reason or the way we came to have this idea, one of them's from being consumers ourselves and shopping via Facebook. Another way is because we're artisan spice company owners. So we have a small business. We make artisan spice blends. Brett loves to cook, and he makes blends for me, so I can cook. And we decided to start selling those. So we saw a need. We were utilizing social media, trying to get people to our website, and it just doesn't happen. The conversion rates are just awful.
That's right. So I'm a conversion marketer and also a programmer. So I worked for a marketing agency called Harmon Brothers. So if you've seen like the Mattress Purple ads, or if you've seen the Squatty Potty ads, which is like a unicorn pooping, those were all the ads that my company did, and I built all the funnels for those, and ran a lot of the Facebook ads for those as well. And so that has always been my world. And so, we had the need to sell our spices, and I just knew that live video was going to be it. And then I built it out for that, and it does so much more than that. It was about 3 or 4 weeks ago we had our first Paparazzi sellers on. And then now it's been a lot of people coming on. And so we have built some things specifically for Paparazzi sellers, and we just kind of wanted to go through and train you guys on how to use it. Everyone has a lot of questions about how to use it, the best practices for how to use it and whatnot. So I'm going to show you real fast what BuyItLive is all about, right? So of course it's about live video, but it's not just about live video too. You can do static posts, you can do static video, you can even do albums and pages, not in groups. It works in Facebook, it works on Facebook groups, and it also works on Instagram. And we'll show you how that works as well. And so the way it works is that obviously people comment, and when they comment, then they get an item. There are other comment selling things out there that we've found out in the last few months. But ours is different in that you can have multiple products, and then your customers can comment multiple times for multiple comments. So it's not just like commenting like a single word like buy or sold or mine and then just moving on. They comment an actual code. And so you'll have codes assigned to your stuff. And I know a lot of you already work this way anyway, especially when you do your lives. So this is why we're actually kind of a perfect fit for you. And I can show you exactly how that works, as this is your back end that you'll see. And so when you sign up with BuyItLive, this is what you have. It shows how you're doing revenue-wise, what your conversion rate is like store-wide, and then it shows all the sales that you have going on. You can also get into your products here. So this is where you would upload your products. Now you can upload. All right, so this is where you have your products, and you can add them individually, or you can import them from Shopify, or if you have a CSV file, you can import them from there as well. So if you use Shopify, it's really simple. There's just a couple options that you have to choose, which is if you want to use the first word of the item as the code or the last word. If not, we just make up the code for you, which is like a letter and 3 numbers afterwards. And then you just select if you want to import ones with collections or without collections. Those are actually 2 separate imports, so you might have to do 2 imports, one with collections, one without collections. So the way you would go live, or you would create a sale, is you would either create a live sale here or a static sale here, right? And so if we create a live sale, I'll show you exactly how this works. So the first thing it does is it tests your page that you have set up. And you will add different pages in there, and you'll add different groups. Now, there are some caveats with using a group, like some things that aren't so great about groups. So one of those is that you have to actually install our app on your group. So you don't have to do that on a page, but you do have to do that on a group. And so you go into groups in your settings and you install the app. Also, if you want us to auto reply to your customers' comments in your group, you have to have a linked page. And then you have to tell us what page you have linked. And then the other one is your customers have to pre-register as well. If they don't pre-register, we can't read their comments. And so those are all things for groups. Also, it's hard for us to offer support on groups because we're not in your group. So we actually can't see your video, we can't see what you're doing or anything else like that.
Well, and if you do host a sale on your page, we are actually able to provide support for you as if we were your page. So that's another plus to pages.
That's right.
We aren't able to do that same thing through a group.
So typically this is what we suggest, and this is from not just a developing thing, but philosophically the way it works. Now, I know you guys like to sometimes guard your groups because they're sort of like guarded from outside sellers or whatnot, which I totally get that. I totally understand that. But as far as like growing your business is concerned, the best thing you can do is to do your lives on your page and then do all of your community building within your group, right? And so you could also do some static posts within the groups, but the whole point of doing a live inside a page is that you get a whole bunch of other people other than your group to get there. So I'll explain a little bit about how our app works with the Facebook algorithm. So it is that when you post something, Facebook will show it to a few people. And if those few people interact, which is they could stop and they could watch what you're doing, or they could like it, or they could comment or something like that, then it will show it to more people and so on. If those people also do the same thing, then, you know, it'll continue to snowball and it can get really big. We have pages that just have like a few thousand followers that will have more video views, more comments, more likes, and more shares than the last 10 Walmart posts, right? Even though they have 34 million fans, and it's because people are interacting with those and they are interacting with the live video. And so if they stop and watch your live video, or they comment, or they like, Facebook will then show that to more people and more people and more people. And it will even suggest watch parties, which are really awesome, and they can bring in their friends. We've given this suggestion to a lot of people, and since they've made this change, they've really grown their businesses because pages are public. They're out there and everyone can get to it.
If you are going live in your group, your reach can only go as far as your group. No one outside of your group will be able to see. But if you go live on your page, the possibilities are endless because the more people, we call it your love group. So the people that you have in your group, they're your biggest fans, your biggest shoppers. They're there for your product launches. They're there to support you. So when you drive those people from your group to your page, that love group interacts with your posts, and that drives more views to new viewers and new customers.
That's right. So we say what you do is use your group to leverage your page. Right? I mean, you leverage your group for your page, right? So you tell people in your group that you're going to be going live, and then they click the link and go off to your page. Now, I understand that some people want to do it so they can hide purchases from their spouses, or you know, for reasons like that. So I totally get those. That's totally fine, totally normal. And so, yeah, if that's your reason for doing it, then yes, continue to do that. But just know that when you use groups, it's not the same experience as it is in pages.
And it's limiting your growth.
And it's only because it's limiting what you're doing. So this is a static post right here. This could be a live video as well. And here, you know, we're offering a shirt, we're offering a bag, and we're offering a watch, right? All right, so I'm going to say buy bag. I'm going to say shirt medium. And then I'm going to get the watch too, right? They can actually do all three items in one comment by using commas. So that's something really cool too, especially if you have someone who's coming into your live video late, and they, you know, they're just going to, you know, they're going to watch a whole bunch of other stuff first, then they can find a whole bunch of stuff that they want and then put it all in one comment, which is great. So you can see that the page has already replied to me, letting me know that the black bag and the medium red shirt have been added to my cart.
So this reply here would come from your page.
That's right. Yep. So this is our page here, your brand here, and then we'll click this out right here, and then you'll see that the cart is ready to go and totally loaded. Right now, all of this stuff is customizable for you. Right. So this background you can customize. You can upload your own background. Of course, you can have your own logo. You can change some of the color of the fonts as well. And of course, your name will be here, right? Whatever the name of your store is. And then this is where your customers shop. And this is where you can set up discounts. This is where you can, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can do. And then it's all automated. Once you set it up, you don't have to worry about it. It just helps out your customers, right? So from here, I have to select an option for my watch. And then from here, your customers just need to put in their address. Now, we save addresses because they have an account with us. And so this one is a saved address for us. Now, all of this updates immediately. So they can actually add higher quantities here, right? So I can add 3 of these. And all of this automatically updates. And so, you know, if I remove it, you'll see that it automatically updated, which is great. So they can add more quantities there. They can also scroll down and continue to shop if they want to. They can see more items in the sale, right? The ID listed next to it. So this is the code. Like this would be like your, 114 or 118 or whatever you name your items, right? Click on claim and it'll just add it to their cart, right? So here it's added to my cart from there. Okay, so then they click on continue to payment. And here you can set up PayPal, so they can do it through PayPal. We use Stripe for credit card processing, and they could just go through that as well. If you'd like, you can enable PayPal credit so people can put it on credit, right, if they need to. So from here, they just place their order. All right, I just got emailed notified that my store just got an order. So that's great. They can type in a note to the store here, and you'll receive that as well when you look at their order. And then they can also click back here and shop more of your sales. So what a lot of our stores do, like all of their sales, they'll just keep them active. So like their last live video, like 3 or 4 live videos, so everyone can go through and watch those. And so this is all your stuff, and so they can go back and just watch another one and another one and another one. And that's like a really cool way for you to just keep getting more sales. So we like that.
And the more often you do lives, even the better that your static posts perform. So we mentioned earlier that we work with lots of different types of posts. Live, of course, gets the best engagement and interactions. But you'll notice as you leave these sales on and the more live videos you do, the more used to using our system that your customers become, the more often they come and shop because they know that they're able to do that via your social.
That's right. So some people create storefronts. So storefront is a place where it just always stays some of your products if you want them there. So you have to actually specifically say, I want these items to be in the storefront. And the way that works is with collections. And so if you're familiar with Shopify, you'll be familiar with collections. So every product, you can have a collection for it. And this is how we have it organized here is we have stuff in collections. And so they can always kind of shop your inventory that you have open, right? Or they can go to your live videos and go watch those again, right? So this is like all like a little hub for you. So you can combine shipping with orders, right? And so this was the number one request we had is that, hey, my customers like to order on, they buy on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and then Friday. How do we kind of do that same thing? Well, what you can do is they can check out multiple times, but whoa, sorry guys. But it will have, I'll go back to the store, here we go. But it won't charge them shipping again. So if you haven't sent out an order and they have multiple orders in the system, it won't charge them shipping if you add that as an option. And so in your settings and then under ship, it's just something you select. It would say customers can use shipping charges from previous unshipped orders. That's great.
So if they were to purchase an item on Tuesday and pay for shipping, then come back on Wednesday and purchase another item,
they wouldn't pay for shipping. If it has not shipped
yet, they would not pay for shipping for that order.
Correct. All right. Another one is that when you're doing returns, instead of returning something, we can actually refund someone. Or sorry, instead of a refund, we can give them in-store credit. That's what I meant to say. All right, so I'm going to give you $118.97 of in-store credit. So now they've been credited that money, and then you'll see the amount that they were credited, and so it'll show up as 0 here. If this was a different amount, let's say I credited her $50, it would show up $50 here, and then whatever the price of that we got from this order minus the $50 would show up right here, right? So now they've been notified that they have a credit, and maybe they'll go on a shopping spree. And I'll show you, another one is we added longer timers up to 6 hours, and we're thinking of adding a 48 or 72 hour option. So this is a actual timer. So a lot of, Shopify plugins have timers, and you'll see timers on the internet. But oftentimes when they reach 0, you can just refresh the page and your product's still there and everything's great. That's not the way our system works. So our system is different than other systems in that we are a competitive shopping queue. And so the way it works is if you add a piece of jewelry and you only have one of those and 4 people comment, what happens is if you have a timer for like 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is, if the first person does not buy it, it leaves their shopping cart and goes to the next person in line automatically. And that person gets notified by text message or email, and will say, hey, it's your turn to buy. And then they have 3 hours or 4 hours, however long you set your cart, to check out. And if they don't do it in that time, then it goes to the next person, and so on and so on. This way you don't have inventory where, like, I know a lot of you probably have this problem where people say they're going to buy something, and then by the end of the week they say they don't buy it, and now you have product that's like left over and you have to try to figure out how you're going to get rid of it. This is a problem that we solve from the very beginning with boutiques or anyone who sells online, and this is what our system is specifically set up to fix, which is why before we did hour timers, and some of our sellers do like 20-minute timers. They put a lot of pressure on their customers to buy.
So the longer that your customers wait to make that purchase, the less likely they are to complete it.
So a friend of ours works for Disney corporate, right? Oh, I'll go back to here. So she works for Disney corporate, and there was something that they tested just to kind of prove our point. And it was during Incredibles 2, they were doing screen tests. And they offered for certain crowds at the end, right when Incredibles 2 ended, they offered right then, you would get a 20% discount if you pre-ordered the DVD, right? Or the DVD or the download or whatever it is, version when it comes, right? And 77% of people did it right after the movie ended. Now, when those people went home, they did other tests where they called the people when they got home to do the same thing and said, hey, would you like to pre-order, the Incredibles 2 on DVD now? And it dropped from 77% down to 30%. And then they called people the next morning to ask them, and it went from 30% down to 15 to 10%. So you see the concept there is that the longer someone has, sort of to make a decision about something, the more often they'll change their mind, right? And so what we call it, there's like the fear of missing out, and there's also, that competitive nature that you get the checkouts quickly. And that's how, we typically help people sell out of inventory, is using that method. If people have a really long time, they're just less likely to do that. However, we've also come up with a solution for that. So we call it 3 strikes and you're in timeout. And it's an option. They can see that they're not in timeout if they go to the website, but they'll first think that it's broken because we don't reply to them in the comments. And the reason why is because we don't want to embarrass them. We don't want to say, oh, sorry, you're a repeat offender.
So the way it works is if someone adds items to their cart 3 times and lets it time out without purchasing, then they will not be allowed to make a purchase or put in timeout until they rectify that. And the way that they're able to rectify that is we don't read their comments and allow them to add multiple products to their cart, but they are able to access the cart still, and they're able to add up to 1 item.
They'll be able to see these items like this, and they can click on one of them, and it'll say, hey, right up top, it'll say you've striked out. So you've had 3 strikes and you've striked out, and you are now in timeout. And there's a little link to timeout to kind of explain what timeout means. But it only happens if they let it go to the end of their timer, and then it timeouts that way.
So they sit on your product.
Yeah, basically. It was like basically sitting on your product. Then they get penalized for that, right?
So to get out of timeout, it allows them to add 1 item to their cart, not from the comments, but from the actual cart page. And if they complete checkout for that 1 item, then basically they're back in your good graces and they're allowed to.
Yeah, all strikes are removed if they make a purchase. So this is something new, but this is how it works for albums. Now, I put my sales link here like I'm supposed to, right? You always have to put a link, and you only get one link per sale. So like if you have a new sale, you have to go and create, a new link, right? Because each link now becomes associated to that post, and that's how we know to read that post on Facebook or Instagram, right? And so they can go through and comment. They can't just comment buy or mine, but what they can do, they can add the actual product code. If I say buy glasses or whatever, right, and then hit enter, it will reply and tell them that they have it in their cart. Now, this is not albums on groups. It doesn't work for albums and groups.
So then they would click the
Yeah,
link. They would just shop through as many photos in the album as they wanted, add as many items, and then they would click the link. They could pick any link. It's going to be the same link.
That's right.
They could even pick the link on the first album photo.
Something else you're going to notice in here, which is that other item that was already in my cart is still there too. So you could actually shop multiple sales, multiple videos, and then when they're done, they can click out, right? And so we know a lot of pages, boutiques that do that, and people sort of shop their page like it's a mall, and then they click on it, and then they end up checking out, right? Once they have it completely full, right? So I'm going to go to our brand demo, which is called brand demo on Instagram, right? So if you guys can see that, this is an Instagram page here. So I'm going to go comment right here. And I'm going to comment buy glasses. And then something cool is going to happen on my phone. So I'm here on my phone. And you notice I just got a text message from BuyItLive. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to check my message from BuyItLive. It tells me what's in my cart. It says, almost there. You must select options for Ray-Ban sunglasses. So I'm going to show you that. So you can see that there. Then from here, they just need to click that link. There we go. And now I've got, there you can see my glasses on BuyItLive on my phone.
In the same cart.
They're in the same cart as my other two pairs of glasses, and I can buy them all right here. And so it has all of your items that you could shop sort of like an album. And as you scroll down, this always stays at the top. And so this is our social stuff. And so as more of you come in, you'll see more photos come in here. And then as someone does something, so watch, I'm going to click claim on this. Now you'll notice that this is, there we go. Meg has added blue swim shorts 7 seconds ago, right? And so this is constantly going to update. So imagine though, like you have like 20 people going in at the same time, then all these icons and all these, the photos of people coming will keep changing. And then as people are adding things, this doesn't just show what I've done, it'll show what everyone's done. And so it's a really cool way to like kind of seed competition. And of course, all they have to do to check out is click this button, checkout, which then takes them to the screen where they can continue to payment and check out.
This is a way for us to keep the social aspect so they're able to still have the excitement of seeing that they're shopping with others. And like I said, that FOMO and wanting to make sure that they get things and aren't left out. And they can see, I know people love having the excitement of albums. So this kind of mimics that by letting them see, I'm shopping with this many people and I can see that they're adding things to their cart. So especially if you have limited inventory, then this really creates that urgency for them and encourages them to shop.
So the way that you create this, you go to your store and you would pick a static sale. All right. You would name your sale here. And then instead of social comments, you would pick a shopping party right here. And then you just add the items that you want in your shopping party. And then select your timer, select any discount that you want. So your discount could be like, you get 5% off if you buy $100 worth or something like that, Another cool thing that I'll mention here is that, so every store starts out with a 5% transaction fee, and there's no monthly fees, right? However, if someone is, watching your sale and they sign up through BuyItLive, it'll lower your transaction fee. And you can, in fact, get down to 0% transaction fees. And that lasts for life. A lot of, direct selling companies like Paparazzi, I know they have rules about getting paid to promote or anything else like that. So that's not this. And they also have rules for like sharing a link, and that's not this either. Just by seeing your sale and seeing the link and clicking on it. Also, this is another reason to have it in a page, I guess, so others can see it. Although if you have people in your downline that shop in your group, they can see it there too. And they click it and they add it. Now, to be able to be counted as a real referral, they have to do two things. They have to create at least one sale on the system, and they have to have at least one purchase on the system. And then you get that for life, which we think is super cool. And it's a win-win for us because we also get to grow.
Growth is kind of our motto at the company. Everything that we've built, every tool we've built for the system, even our payment plans, the fact that we don't charge any monthly fees, everything's based around growth. So we want as many sellers as possible.
Exactly. And so I know how hard it is to run like a small business, and that like every penny counts, and that you need something to be able to succeed. Because right now everything is sort of pay to play, and like you're sort of at the mercy of whatever these big networks do. Facebook in the last few months have made changes to notifications within groups, and there's all these little things that kind of can affect small companies in a really big way, right? And so our idea was, let's build something for the people, and that's our motto. That's kind of what we do.
So we've loved having all of you on the system. We've loved all the feedback we've been getting from you.
Right. So all of you, by the way, have account reps assigned to you. They're really nice people. So if they reach out to you, don't be shy.
So they're there. I mean, we have our customer support. Any questions you have about technical things, setting up your sales, getting started on the system, feel free to reach out at any time. If you have questions about
strategy. Well, not like at 3 a.m.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah.
But any time other than that.
But you also have account reps who can help you with sales strategy. So you can even reach out to them and say, this is the way I usually do business. And how do you think it would best fit with the system? What kind of strategies do you suggest? And we're all here to help. So I hope this answered your questions. If you have any more questions, and like we said, we've got the customer support. So if we need to hop back on a personal call, we can even do another screen share and walk you through. Feel free to reach out at any time. But thank you so much for joining.
Thank you
so much for trying out our system. We love having you.
And thanks for all those that are telling everyone else about it. It's spreading. It's awesome. We're adding lots of new Paparazzi stores every day, and we're just happy that we can help you guys out.
It's been fun.
It's super cool. So, all right.
Okay, thanks,
everyone. I guess we're done. All right.
Have a
Thanks, everybody.
Night.
Have a good night.